Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Keeping up with the tradition after the fights, talking about who suffered the biggest losses. 2 out of 3 of them probably are out of the UFC. Let's get into it and let's talk about it. Before we do, hit that subscribe button as hard as you possibly can. Give it a thumbs up as well. And leave a comment down below. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree, if you think I missed somebody. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's jump into it. First off is Randy Costa. I mean, oh man, a lot to talk about with Randy Costa. I think there's so much potential with Randy Costa. I like him. I think he's fun to watch. And he debuted against Brandon Davis, as we had talked about in one of my earlier videos a couple days ago. And looked great in that first round. And in hindsight, that's typical for him. Looked real good in the first round and then got submitted in the second round. Then comes back and fights Boston Salmon, I believe, Solomon, and KOs him. Then fights Journey Newsom and KOs him, all in the first round. Then comes back and fights Adrian Yanez. Looks real good in that first round. And then you see dramatically, didn't get him out of there. That was that. And then he loses in that fight. Then he fights Tony Kelly and looks like he can't get started. Throws a couple of nice kicks and stuff like that, but looks like he doesn't get started, and then he gets finished. I believe in the first round, but maybe even in the second round. That fight was real bad because it just looked like he kind of gave up. Then this fight against Goody Canetti, I might be saying that first name wrong, but Canetti, again, waiting too much. He's not letting his hands go. He's not letting his kicks go. He's not really putting the pressure on. He's moving forward, but he's not throwing a whole lot. He started to open up a little bit, got his legs kicked out from under him, and then Goody Canetti jumped on his back without any hooks, which you see him try to stop the hooks, get that rear naked choke, and that was that. And honestly, that's 3 in a row, and that's probably all she wrote for Randy Costa. That's a big one because I really think he could have been something really, really special. I think he's really good. His strikes are really unorthodox. He's just one of those guys that if he can't get you out of there in the first round, he suffers because of it. His cardio's bad after that point. It seems to be going all wrong for him right now. I wish him all the best. I hope he does well in the other organizations to get some experience. He's still young. He's only 28 years old. We still may see him back in the UFC at some point, but he needs to go out there and get some experience on some less quality opponents and get that mindset back to where it was before. And then next is Krzysztof Jotko. And the reason Krzysztof Jotko is on here, he's 24 wins, 6 losses. Costa was 6-4. And I know maybe Jotko shouldn't be on here. I know, but the reason why he's on here is because he's not a crazy exciting fighter as it is. He's not a fighter that's going to really blow you away. Right there. He's not going to blow you away. He's just not. That's not his style. He's cautious. He's technical. He's fun. I enjoy watching him. But losing the way he did last night, getting honestly strangled by Allen, I don't think he ever hits that top 15, top 10 like he once had. And the one, it was a different time when he did. I just think his style and him losing like he did last night is drops him so much more than I think we think. I really think that's a bad loss. Not that Brandon Allen's not good, because Brandon Allen's good. It's just when you're not crazy exciting, the UFC's not really gonna do much with you. So you're gonna have these fights, whether you win or you lose, you're still gonna be in this middling point. And then getting finished like he did last night, getting strangled, it puts him in like this almost gatekeeper area. because he's going to win you some, but he may never get past those certain guys. And even when he was in the top 10, he didn't look that good, you know. And then Tavares finished him, and then Uriah Hall finished him. He beat Dave Branch, yes, is okay. Finished Tamden McQuarrie, yeah, which I did like him, but his chin went away quickly. But big loss for Krzysztof Jotko, real big loss. He'll still be in the UFC, but he might be in gatekeeper territory. And then last but not least is Jesse Ronson. I mean, come on. It has to be Jesse Ronson. Debuts, only wins one, by the way. And before he got finished the fight before. He won a fight. Took a short notice, I believe, against Nicholas Dalby. Hurt Dalby and finished Dalby. It got changed to a no contest for marijuana, I believe, which is dumb. But then he loses his next two fights. Rafa Garcia submits him. And then this one, Joaquin Silva finishes him. And the reason why he's on this, and the reason why he's the main vocal point of being on this list, is because Joaquin Silva was questioning everything after being KO'd in his last two fights. He was questioning the timing, he was questioning getting hit, and Ronson seemed more timid than he did. I understand being more measured and being, stuff like that, but when you're fighting a guy that is coming off of 2 knockout losses, go after him. Go get him. Go punch him in his face. Walk forward, throw your combinations. You're this 28-2-1 kickboxer. Go kickbox him. Go punch him. He started to open up a little bit, and then every time he would stand still, Joaquin Silva would hurt him. And then in close to the end of the fight, Joaquin Silva changes stances, which you typically, this doesn't happen. You switch stance and you're like, oh, I have more success in this stance. And then stick there and finish the guy with the stance. And he hit him at the end of the first round with a flying knee that basically finished him. He came out super aggressive early, really wasn't effective with it, and then got caught with the exact same thing. Literally, Joaquin Silva put up his knee and then jumped. It was so like, oh, that's what he's going to do. Oh, okay, yeah. Credit to Joaquin Silva for going out there and digging deep and getting past those 2 knockout losses he had and finishing Jesse Ronson. That's big for him, for sure. But Ronson looked real timid, looked real bad against a guy that was questioning his chin. It's not like Joaquin Silva was coming in with a bunch of momentum, KOing people, and Ronson had to be worried of the power. No. I know he had to be worried of the power, of course, because he's a powerful guy. Yeah, I'm not saying go buck wild, but he just looked so bad. And I know controlling yourself, being a little bit more measured, I get that. I do. I get it. But god damn, he looked bad. And Joaquin Silva snatched that fight right underneath him. So you got Randy Costa, you got Jotko, you got Ronson. I think those are the 3 biggest losses of last night. Of course, there were some more. Sadiq Youssef won. Dern, I don't think she needs to be that upset. I thought when she got Jan where she needed to get her, she looked incredible. I mean, it was 2 10-8 rounds, I think, for her right there. So I'm not going to have her on this list because her striking's not good. Yeah, we know her striking's not good. That was the whole question of the fight, is if she could figure out her striking enough to beat Jan. And it's a close fight. I mean, it really was. So you got that, and then you got Randy Brown, Trinaldo. I think Randy Brown looked good. I thought Trinaldo also looked good. I think Randy Brown got saved because... Am I going to rant on this? You got to take a point. When a fighter gets a submission, or not a submission, a takedown, clear he's going to get a takedown, and that's why he grabs the fence to stop that takedown, you gotta take that point. You gotta take a point because the fighter's working for a submission. The fighter's working for a takedown. And if he gets the takedown and he holds the fence, but without that fence hold, he gets that takedown and he's in half guard, you have to take a point because he's stopping a big momentum shift. There we go. Momentum shift. So you got to take a point. It has to be. Otherwise, it doesn't stop them from doing it. It's the same thing with weight cutting. You're not going to fix anything if you don't have stricter rules. So, it's frustrating. It is what it is. Again, let me know down below what you think about it. Hit that thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. And also, subscribe to the channel. You know, it helps out so much. You know what it is. Peace.